Hi guys, and how have you been? It's yet another time when we thank God for His goodness, we thank Him for His care, we thank Him for giving us yet another time and giving us yet another energy to continue doing what we love doing. So guys, I want to thank God for giving us this day and giving us this chance so that we can come together again. My name is Millie Kihiu of Millie Kihiu Beautiful Life. And I thank all those who are watching us for the first time, and please I say subscribe to this channel. And those who have become a family, those who have walked with us the journey, may God keep blessing you and keep doing it, and let's keep working together. And so guys, today I come to you with yet another good episode of our lives unfolding and our lives happenings and our lives. I have come with another episode concerning our lives. We said that in this channel, we always encourage one another by saying that life is still beautiful no matter what we go through. Because sometimes we go through messy situations, sometimes we go through bad situations, and sometimes it's just the best time of our lives. And so we say life is still beautiful no matter what we go through. So in today's show, we want to talk about one very important issue that everybody is yearning for. And this issue and this thing that everybody is yearning for is a person who understands. A person who says, I understand. A person who gives us a shoulder to lean on. A person who helps us to carry on even when we have failed. So in this show, I want to welcome you as we discuss, as we talk together, as we encourage one another by saying, I understand. So guys, keep working with us, keep getting the encouragement, and whenever you feel like, here it touched me, please give us that like, give us that subscription, and give us that comment down there. And so guys, you're most welcome. So, in this life, it is just human nature that human wants to have a deep, they have a deep need to be understood. They have a deep desire to be understood. They have a liking to be understood. They have a taste. They have a joy. They have, they feel so good when somebody understands them. And why do we feel like we need to be understood? Because it is not always that we shall do the right things. It's not always that we shall please everybody. It's not always that we will find ourselves walking the right channel. We'll not always find ourselves on the right side of life. Sometimes we find ourselves on the wrong side, on the messy side, on the bad side. And whenever we find ourselves in such situations, we want someone who feels, or someone who comes in our lives and understands. I'm taking this, I'm trying to in fact think about myself. And I'm trying to imagine if everybody in this world would be as understanding as Jesus was. You know, sometimes like I look at the Bible, because I told you guys that when I come here, I will not give you anything else. I'll not give you any other source. The only source that I'm going to give you of my encouragement is from God. I draw all the encouragement from God. And so I give you the same God so that you can draw your encouragement from Him. And therefore, this morning, I want you to imagine, I want you to think, I want you to see if the whole world was filled with people who were like Jesus, was filled with people who had the heart that Jesus had, a heart of understanding, a heart of thinking about others better than himself. You know, I'm an employer. I have people whom I have employed. And sometimes I wake up in the morning, go to work, and I find that everything is just messy. Everything is just bad. And I'm like, now where do I begin from here? And sometimes you find that some people don't even care. They will mess you up. They will mess your business up. They will mess your life up, and they'll just be there. They're okay. Like, They don't, like, it doesn't hit them that this is a messy thing that I have done. It doesn't hit them that whatever I have said might come out with a very bad impact on this business. Whatever I have answered, whatever the attitude that I have come with today might not take this business anywhere. I might not be able to achieve. But most people, especially like in this life we are living, like, I think we have become so busy, like, Maka, our minds are so, like, congested. Like, people do not have space to think beyond where they are. People have become very lazy to think beyond the margin that they've been given. They draw a margin and they remain just behind that margin. So you find that sometimes you find things that things have happened in a very messy way, in a very bad way, and you wonder, do I need to understand this? Sometimes people mess you up and you're like, am I able to understand this? So sometimes you're forced, like, to fire people. Sometimes you're forced to draw people off your life. Sometimes you're forced, like the last episode that we talked about silence. You're forced to go mute, maka mtu ajisort peke yake. You just go silent and they don't know what you're thinking, they don't know what you're planning, they don't know what you're doing, and they sort themselves out and just wanajikata, wanaenda. Because so many times, as a human, you might not understand. You might not be able to understand. But then I think about if all people would be like Jesus, if all people would be like God. I sometimes look at my life and I'm like, oh God, will you forgive me this one? Are you going to forgive me about what I have done? Will you understand what I have done? And then some other times, I am so pressed by issues and I'm like, God, don't you understand? Can't you be able to get me out of this problem? Can't you be able to get me out of this crisis? And I see a God who understands. I see a God that I can relate to. I see a God that I can give that I can give an account to about what he has done for me. And so everywhere we live, we love to be understood. And anytime I listen to people tell me about the things they are going through, because sometimes people go through some situations whereby they just need to speak it out so that it can be off their minds, it can come out of their minds. I listen to people, and sometimes you get so many stories of life, and the stories become bigger and bigger and bigger, and the experiences become bitter and hard to, like, carry. And the only thing that I can say is, I understand. I just tell them, I understand. I understand and I feel you. I feel what you're going through. And sometimes some issues that people go through, you cannot understand them. You cannot feel what they are feeling. Like, for example, when someone loses a family member, loses a close friend, like by death, there is nothing you can tell them that you understand. You can't tell them that you understand. You just go quiet. You just go silent. And the only thing that you can do is just sit with them, because you cannot understand exactly what they feel. Because it's not you who has lost. It's them who have lost. So they are the only ones who can feel that pain. So guys, I want to bring you this good God who understands us better than we understand ourselves. People love to be understood. They love to be told that I understand the pain you're going through. When they are going through a heartache, they want someone to feel their heartache. When they are going through a disappointment, they want someone to tell them, I understand how much you have lost. I understand how much you have been disappointed. That was not a good experience. That was not fair to you. They want someone to embrace them when they have been embarrassed. Like, for example, someone wants to do something and someone just comes without sensitivity. There are people who are not sensitive in lives. in life. They can just say anything. They can do anything. They can shame you in any way. They can put you in any situation. They can just do messy things and leave. So these guys, everybody wants to have someone who can tell them, I understand the embarrassment, but it shall be well. They want someone who will tell them, it shall be well. When they go through a messy experience, sometimes people go through messy experiences. They are sacked, they are fired. Others are just like I had a friend of mine, and she was like, she was doing some kind of business. And one day, the authority came, and walitupwa nje, like that senior person anatolewa kwa ofisi yake. They are thrown out of the offices, and people were there recording everything. They were shooting everything and taking everything and putting it on air, putting it on social media. And this friend of mine was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm the one nimejaa kwa social media. And she could not face the world at that time. She just wanted someone who can tell them, I understand the embarrassment you've gone through, but it shall be well. This one will also pass. This still will pass. So they need someone who can tell them, we shall overcome this. And therefore, as human beings, we have that liking, we have that want, we have that desire. It is our nature to love to have someone who understands us. Now, this word, I understand, you can tell it to people and they feel like they have got a relief. You can give them a relief by just telling them, I understand. In as much as we want people to understand us, let us also understand other people. Except when it is too extreme that you cannot carry it anymore. Because people have, again, taken advantage of others. Whereby, they know that whenever I go, nikienda kwa Milly, she will just understand. If I go and tell her, you know, I did not achieve my objective because of blah, 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 she will just understand and just let me free. If I go to her and I tell her, I am not able to report to work because this and this has happened, so I'm not able to come, she will just understand. So people can take advantage of others. And therefore, I would not want us to go to that extent whereby people take advantage of us. Sometimes we look like fools. Sometimes we look like we don't know where we're headed. Sometimes we look like we don't understand ourselves. Let us not get to that extreme whereby people take advantage of us, because you might be a loser. You can even lose your properties. You can even lose your, even your investments. You can lose a lot. All the time you're losing because of making people feel like you understand everything. But then our God is different from us. And that is where we differ from God. And that is why we are human. We are not God. Because God understands everything. To some extent, it's like we take advantage of him. But all the same, we cannot take advantage of God. Because God also has limits. And he gives us the freedom to choose. Where he says, I have got life, I have got death. You can choose to live or choose to die. You can choose life, you can choose death. You can choose the right way or the wrong way. And if you choose the right path, of course I'll walk with you. That is God. And if you don't choose the right path, then I'll leave you. You will suffer out there. Then when you feel like coming back, you can as well come back and find me just where you left me. Because God is never tired of waiting for us. He keeps waiting for us. He just stretches his hand. And he says, I am here. Just come. I need you back. I still love you. I gave my son for you. So please come back. So God understands our every situation. So when we understand people and when we tell them that we understand what they are going through, we give them a glow on their faces. Their faces get some brightness. They get some hope. They get some joy from inside, and they feel the strength to walk again. Just like we have said in this channel, we have always said that life is still beautiful no matter what we go through. And so if life is still beautiful no matter what we go through, even when we have nobody who understands us, let us know that God understands us and He feels every pain that we go through. He feels every embarrassment. He feels every disappointment. He feels every heartache that we go through. I know, like, in this period, we are going through the hardest time. We are going through a very tough time in life. But God understands. And He will always give you an exit route, an exit way, an exit door when all the doors are closed. He will always open a door for you because He understands you. He knows what you love. He knows your desires because it is Him who has put those desires in you. Even when your family is falling apart, just go down on your knees and tell Him, I know you understand. Remind Him that you know. Affirm to Him that you know that He understands. And by so doing, God will come speedily and He will hasten His steps. He will save you. He will bring you back to Himself because He understands. Sometimes we find ourselves getting so disappointed that we feel like we cannot continue with life. We have seen so many people go into suicidal way. We have seen so many people go into the way of disappointment until they get so depressed that they cannot even walk out of their houses. But we don't need to go that far. And as human beings and as friends to our fellow human beings, we have a responsibility to assure them that it shall be well. And that is why I'm giving you this message, because I may not know what you're going through. I may not know what your situation is as we speak. I may not know what crisis you're going through. But all I know is that you need someone to understand you. You need someone who can tell you, I understand. I love you the way you are. I understand that you're going through this hard time. Let us pray together. Let us ask God to guide you in this. Let us ask God to give you to show you the direction to take. You know, like yesterday, I had an issue that I was going through, and it was so hard on me. Like the whole of yesterday, I was so unproductive because I was going through some stress. I had 3 options to choose from. Number 1, retain what I have. Number 2, get the second option that I had some time ago. Number 3, get a new option that will sail me through to wherever direction, to wherever distance, to wherever place it will take me. And so I was so much stressed that I was feeling some heat all over my face. And I could ask myself, now which way do I go? Then the whole day, nilikaa tu nikisumbuka. I stayed the whole day asking myself, which is the right way to go? And I remembered just last week on Saturday evening, I had a prayer and fasting night. I had a prayer night and I prayed the whole night, worshipped God the whole night. And I told God, God, you know the issues that are pressing me so hard. Actually, number 1, I had an issue in my house. And this issue was with my DM. So I was like, God, show me the way to go. Show me the direction I should take. And so coming in the morning after the prayer, things happen. And I'm like, God, what are you showing me? I was so much stressed up. Thanks to one of my employees at my place of work. I went and told her what I was going through. And she was like, have you told God about what you're going through? And that moment I remembered, why did I bother myself this much? I had not told God what I was going through. And let me tell you, I just prayed and I felt a relief. I felt something has just happened in my life, in my heart, in my mind. And I was like, oh God, this is what I needed. And then after that, somehow I found myself having forgotten. I forgot everything that I was going through until I got in the house. That is when now I came back. It dawned back to me that, whatever you left is still there. The issue that was there is still there. The crisis that you had is still there. But you know what? When I got in the house, solutions just came. And so The only thing that was remaining was I picking up what was best for me and what I felt was the best thing that I needed. And so that is exactly what I did. In the morning when I woke up, the solution was already there. Yani nilipata tu in black and white. This is the right way to follow. This is the path. This is the decision you should make. And so I was like, let me do it. And I did it. And today I'm a happy person. I was so worried yesterday. I was so much in crisis yesterday. But today I'm a very happy person. I am a very good person. Right now my heart is good. Yani, I feel so nice. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. So everyone has weaknesses. And in our weaknesses, we also have strengths. I said this in some other show that we had done earlier, that we have our strengths and weaknesses are just likened by our fingers. If you look at your fingers, we have the weak points and the strengths. These are the strong points and these are the weak points. But when you put them together, they become so strong like nobody can pull them apart because they're already intertwined. We have the strengths intertwined with their weaknesses. And so this tells you that everyone, just like our hands, every hand has weaknesses and strengths. Can we try to compensate one another? Can we try to complement one another? Can we try to join hands and not expose other people's or our friends' weaknesses? Nobody loves it when their weaknesses are being exposed every other time. And so everybody wants someone who conceals, someone who covers them up, someone who hides them from the shame, someone who makes them feel, yes, I almost failed there, but someone lifted me up. So we need to complement one another. We need to bring one another closer and tell them that we understand. We need to understand each other. Understand each other's weaknesses, understand their strengths. And when we do this, we are able to make them better people. We are able to make them a better people afterwards. Now, there's something that I read somewhere. And I felt like, hey, I have never known this. That whenever you lift someone up, whenever you make someone look clean, even when they are dirty, the same will be repeated at some point in your life. Someone will do it for you. Why does it happen this way? Because God planned and fashions it that way. God will always bless those people who lift others. God will always bless those people who covers others up. God will always bless those people who understands each other, who understands other people's crisis, who understands other people's weaknesses, who understands other people's issues. Whenever they come and they look messy, you try to cover them up so that at least they can look cleaner. And so I was also thinking about when people lose, when people go through heartaches, when people there are so many types of losses. People lose through divorce, people lose through death, people lose through separation, people lose through the relationships just break, relationships just die. People lose in so many ways. And when people have lost, they are really looking for that one person who will just appear and give them some comfort and tell them, I understand. I give this example of my husband. When he lost his mother, our mother-in-law that is, he was really into so, I don't know what kind of a situation I can call that, but he was in a bad state. He could not understand himself. He could not even understand what to do next. He was not able even to think right. And most of the time he was like, amejikunja tu. And I tried all ways and means to bring him up. I tried so many ways of bringing him up. And one day I remember I tried to make him his best meal, but he was out of appetite completely. He could not even want to eat. And so I talked to one of my friends and I asked her, now, in such a situation, what am I supposed to do? And she told me, engage him. Let him speak about what he is feeling. Let him know that someone is listening to him and someone cares that he is feeling this way. And so when I came home, I talked to him. I kept engaging him. I kept asking him about the relationship with the mother. I kept reminding him of several and the many experiences that he has had, the good experiences, the bad experiences that they have had together with the mother. And he was like, hi, I think in as much as my mom is gone, I think I have memories. So he started telling me about the memories that he had. And just in the course of the talk, I saw him glow up. I saw him develop a glow on his face. And he started now speaking up. He just as sharing. He was able to tell me about so many things that were running in his mind and he could not talk them before. And so I saw, wow. Because I just told him, you know, I understand you have lost. I understand the pain you're going through. I mean, I know it is too much than you can handle. I know what you're going through. I understand. And he felt, wow, someone understands. But now, the problem with us, we come and tell people, sasa hiyo ni nini inakusumbua? That is something small. I mean, hiyo isikusumbue sana. That's not a big deal. You know, you don't get, I mean, you don't have to be worried about such things. You know, those people sink even deeper. If you tell them that it is not a big deal, they sink even deeper. So we need to lift their hearts. We need to lift them up and show them, yes, it shall be well. And I know that even after here, even after listening to this information, after listening to this content, I believe that you will see and you will have a different attitude than you have had about God, because He's a good God, He's an understanding God, and He understands all about your life. And so guys, I leave you with this God. I say that may God help us all to take Him up and to be part of us, and may He help us always to walk on His paths so that He can help us in everything, even the smallest things of life. Let us commit them to Him, and for sure He will walk with us the journey. It may not be very easy, but with Him in that vessel, we shall smile when we are under storm. And so guys, until the next episode, until the next show, it's your girl Millie, and I say I love you, and I'm praying for you. God bless you. Keep walking with us the journey. And until next time, it's a bye-bye. And please subscribe. Life is still beautiful no matter what we're going through. Thank you.